those of you joining us on YouTube in the future, I've made a huge boo-boo. I forgot to start recording when I started this match, so you're joining us in our match with this this Temur control deck. Welcome. Sorry about missing the first couple of turns. It's mostly just been us stumbling here. I'm gonna bin this Harvest Pyre against our opponent playing a control deck. There's 2 lands on top, but we're still gonna miss this turn. You missed blue-green Jace Leclerc. How are you feeling about Death Shadow, post Jace / BB? I don't know, that's fine. I don't really have a good explanation for why the deck fell off the face of the earth, it feels like. I also don't have a ton of experience with the deck, so like I can't really tell you like why that was. Open broadcast software, the same software I use for streaming. All right, so I'm just gonna put this into play tapped and pass the turn here, I think. If my opponent hits their land drop next turn, I'm going to end step the Snapcaster Mage and try and snap back and opt. If my opponent misses their land drop, I'm just going to let them move to hand size and discard a card. Hi, wife.
I just want to say hi.
How are the monsters?
They're good. It's really cold down here.
That's fine. I assume people playing JCBB decks doesn't seem like it goes significantly worse. Messing around with Esper Death Shadow, which seems great. I mean, like, why is Esper Shadow better than, like, the guaranteed, like, reasonable Shadow decks? Like the ones that people generally play. Alright, so... I think I'm just gonna go ahead and draw my card here. I'm gonna Cryptic to fight over this Ancestral Vision just to use my 4 mana, I think. I assume... it's bad against burn and humans. No, Death Shadow is generally favored against humans. Or, sorry, generally favored against burn. A good Grixis Shadow players generally have a small edge against burn. So, I'm not expecting this Cryptic Command to resolve, but I've just got so many 4 mana cards in my hand that I just want to, like, use my mana here. You know, in the event this resolves, I think I'd rather bounce their land. My wall is dead. Wow, that just happened. Okay, sweet. They've already played 2 lightning bolts. I'm still gonna play this Jason plus it, I think. I think I'm just gonna scry. I'd like to hit some land drops. Would you put Mana Leak on the bottom? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Magic players and humans in general are prone to hyperbole and overstating things. It's just like the same people that are probably telling you Dampening Sphere is going to change everything in Modern were the same people that were telling you Jace was going to ruin the format. And like, we certainly know that's not true, right? Oh, they did play 3 bolts even, right? They killed the wall. The owl costume is upstairs in my bedroom. We'll be using that on Sunday's stream as advertised. So looking for a red source here so we can bolt snap bolt this. Thankfully I have this card. God bless. All right, so I can just double bolt it with negate up. That feels kind of appealing. I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna put this Kiora back. They're auto passing. That seems good. Just gonna need a basic mountain here. Your move opponent. That means Sunday we stream from my bedroom. All right, negate this one. Well, I wasn't expecting that to work, if we're being honest. All right. Hopefully my Jace just gets to bury them here now. Another Kiora. Let's brainstorm. Play this. I'm just gonna crack this fetch now, I think. Grab a Steam Vent, cast the Serum Visions, leave up Cryptic / snap a card. I probably just want like all my Snapcaster Mages, right? This deck just really wants us to have a Kiora right now. And she's not particularly good in this matchup. Hey, the fish with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for that next level of support. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just in the market for a Snapcaster. The only thing Dampening Sphere is going to do for Modern in general is that it's going to give a bunch of decks that previously had to choose which matches they want to lose. It's going to give them some more tools so they can have more 55% matchups rather than having matchups that are like genuinely bad. I'm gonna put this island back. I'm gonna put this opt back. I'm gonna play this foothills. I'm gonna pass the turn. I'll probably end step a Snapcaster Mage here. What does Kiora even do? Lets you play extra lands and draw cards, I suppose. It's like pseudo removal. Pseudo removal. This is fine. Probably gonna see them activate this Azcanta here. After their Azcanta activation resolves, I'm gonna snap bolt the Snapcaster Mage. I want them to resolve this trigger, assuming their Snapcaster Mage is going to live, and then kill it after the fact. I think Controlled X will play Sphere. I think the amount of tools that it gives you against like Tron is worth the awkwardness with your Snapcaster Mages. I mean, I don't think anyone's claiming that it's magically like anyone that thinks Dampening Sphere is a one card win target, like beat target Tron deck, like those people are silly. Like Dampening Sphere isn't going to magically make your deck's Tron matchup amazing. What Dampening Sphere is going to do is, in combination with other reasonable cards, Dampening Sphere will give you a chance against these decks that you previously didn't really have a chance against. So again, I feel like whenever people talk about hate cards, a lot of people think they mean like, I'm going to play this card, then the game's going to end. What we actually mean is that this card in combination with other cards is going to be a reasonable tool. I'm going to play this Wall of Roots out, and then we have Mana Leak plus Snap Negate up here. Yeah, Tron, like, Dampening Sphere isn't going to beat Tron on its own any more than, what's it called? Any more than Blood Moon beats Tron on its own. Suspended another Ancestral Vision, yep. Mardu Pyromancer, Hollow Winter Storm. What are your thoughts on deciding which to play? The honest answer is that like Modern is a format where a bunch of different decks are all very reasonable, and at the end of the day, you should play whichever deck you enjoy playing the most. Just the TLDR of the format in general. Scry a little bit here. Put Jace on the bottom. Now I'm actually gonna leave the Jace there because I feel like they're gearing up to double bolt this. Been watching you on YouTube forever. Glad I could finally sub. Thank you for the bits, Fish, and the sub. I do appreciate that. Why did I counter draw instead of bouncing the Azcanta? Because the Azcanta's like, whatever. If they want to keep activating the Azcanta, that's fine. Like, they're at 9. We're going to slowly beat them to death here. My Jace is still going. Like, their Azcanta barely keeps up with my Snapcaster Mages. Where barely keeps up with my Jace. And, like, my Jace doesn't cost me resources every turn. Am I okay with that happening? I kind of like the Jace that's on top of my deck, so I'm going to Mana Leak this. And if they Spell Snare me, I'm going to Snap Cryptic. I have 8 mana here, so I can Snap Negate plus Snap Cryptic if I want. I'm gonna keep scrying with Jace. Since they have the Azcanta, Fate Sealing them doesn't really do anything. Attack them for 2. I meant Snap Negate, Snap Mana Leak. I said Snap Negate, Snap Cryptic, didn't I? I have a Negate and a Mana Leak in my discard pile. Yeah, the Lumbering Falls really doesn't do much, though, because of their Field of Ruin. So I'm going to go ahead and let this resolve. I think I just want to snap Bolt here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and snap a Bolt here, I think. Electrolyze kind of makes that a bad plan. I just need to play a little bit faster. I'm just going to pass. I think we're just on the Jace ult here. Is that what we're going for? We're just on the Jace ult them line. I think we're just on the, like... We're just on the Jace ult them plan. Go. We got 2 more. We technically have 2 more turns till the Jace ults, but we know they have a Bolt and an Electrolyze in their hand, so we're probably going to see them ding the Jace a little bit here. But, like, if they're spending a bunch of resources dinging the Jace, then they're not spending a bunch of resources dinging us, so, like, that seems profitable for us in the long term. Oh, I just clicked through that way too quickly. I thought they were activating Azcanta and definitely hit my my pass key when I didn't want to hit it. That's awkward. I wasn't auto-passing. I hit F2, but similar effect. All right, we're gonna try and burn them out then. Yeah, we're not out of the game by any means. We're just, like, less good than we could be. Gonna negate the Spell Snare. Got 2 more bolts in my deck. This bolt will put them to 3. Probably gonna be an Electrolyze killing the Snapcaster Mages. It's a real shame that there's only 25 cards left in our deck and we haven't found a Tireless Tracker yet. He says as he draws a Tireless Tracker. They could have a Cryptic Command here. One of the things I need to do too is I need to try and... They have a Field of Ruin chat. need to try and keep my health total high here, or I want to try and keep my clock up. They tap the Field of Ruin to counter this. Oh, they don't have Field of Ruin up here, do they? Yeah, they tapped Field of Ruin. Logic not for 9, sure. Yeah, definitely gonna get in with this since they tapped Field of Ruin. Actually, this game's going on long enough that we could probably steal this game with Lumbering Falls, because like if they don't aggressively Field of Ruin us next turn, we could activate Lumbering Falls, they field it, activate Lumbering Falls again in response. I'm going to give away some information by auto-passing here, but I would like to get up on clock just in case this match goes long. It's a good one. It's a good one, chat. Negate. That's rude. Is this a logic knot? It smells like a logic knot. All right, so I'm actually not going to cast anything else here because I want to be able to play 2 spells they need to answer next turn to encourage them to tap out so I can kill them with this lightning bolt. So I want to play 2 spells that they're going to feel obligated to answer, and then we can kill them with lightning bolt if they do answer both of them. Yep, that's why I'm not casting the bolt yet, chat. That's why I'm not casting the bolt. That's why I haven't just, like, been an idiot and cast the lightning bolt. Because they could just helix us in response. That is correct. It's a Cryptic Command, yep. Did we get him? Did we get him? Yeah! Got him. Sweet. Sweet. All right. That was great. All right. Baloth. Double negative. Huntmaster. Dispel. This Roast and this Harvest Pyre are pretty bad. These Wall of Roots are pretty mediocre. The Kioras are really bad against Lightning Bolt decks. We definitely don't want these here. Patience. Patience was rewarded. That seems pretty easy and easy out. Baloth's good just because, like, it requires Path to Exile to answer. And, like, buffering our health total, like, our opponent getting burned out there is something that's relevant in these matches, these blue-red mirrors a lot of the time. So, like, Baloth buffering our health total is a big deal. This is a donation decklist Immortal, like most things. The double negatives are in the sideboard for countering Bloodbraid Elves. Was in the notes. Double negative is there for countering Bloodbraid Elves. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit submit. I'm happy with those changes. Swaps. try and play quickly here so we can stay up on clock. Opponent's got 15 minutes to win 2 games. Yeah, you can't, what's the word I'm searching for? You can't, trap, ricochet trap double negative. I have no idea. I haven't played Eternal Style Command Temur decks. It's not strictly worse than Counterflux. So I almost swapped the double negatives for Counterfluxes when I looked at the list, and then I read the note that the person that sent in the deck list sent along with it, and I like their logic. Like, Counterflux to counter Bloodbraid Elf and the thing they cascade into costs you 4 mana. Double negative only costs 3. So when you're on the draw, you can double negative all of the Bloodbraid Elf. You can double negative all of the Bloodbraid Elf. So for those that aren't familiar with how Ricochet Trap works, you can't Ricochet Trap a spell that has multiple targets. So I get to draw some cards here, but there was multiple Ancestral Visions last game and still lost. But we also had an active Jace for a while, which we don't have right now. I suppose playing the tapped land here means that they had like Jace plus Spell Snare or Jace plus Dispel. I'd have been a little bit sad. But they didn't, so we're fine. I'm just going to play Drago here. The onus is on them to kill us so long as we stay up on clock. Like, if my opponent's not doing anything and we're still hitting land drops, I'm just going to like keep hitting land drops and saying go. Hit land drops, snap cantrips, profit. Counterflux is better against Storm, yes. The cards, different cards are better in different situations. Welcome to Magic the Gathering. Please enjoy your stay. I agree that if your goal is to have this sideboard slot be good against Storm, you should definitely be playing Counterflux instead. The purpose of this sideboard slot is to be good against Bloodbraid Elf, though, which is different. It's a different purpose. I'm going to bottom this. We're just looking for land drops at this point. Perfect. I'm leaving these uncracked because we have Tireless Trackers in our deck. I forgot to attack there because I just clicked through it because I'm talking and reading chat. That's not strictly true. I have a way to kill this anyways. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's just a counter spell. Counter up to 2 target spells. So it's just like, it's just a cancel. Just going to use it as a cancel here. I'm going to fetch one of these tapped, so that way I have an extra mana available. Get another dual land out of my deck so we're not drawing to a shock. These cards seem great. I don't think that's strictly true, Big Daddy. So, like, one of the things about a format like Modern is that often you're trying to make your slots do as much as possible because there's just so many different decks that you have to be competitive against in Modern that, like, you don't want all of your slots to be super narrow cards necessarily. So, like, by playing a card like Mindbreak Trap, that's an exceedingly narrow card. I'm going to wait on my opponent to try and kill my Tireless Tracker before I crack these fetch lands. Yeah, holding a land for Tracker is probably better there. I agree with that, Stinger. Negate. Oh, he wants to have a fight with me, opponent. wants to put the dukes up and fight over the Tireless Tracker. Please cast a Cryptic Command so I can mana leak you. Please cast a Cryptic Command so I can mana leak you. I can even mana leak a Logic Knot here and then double fetch and cast another mana leak. So I think we're in a pretty good position to win this counter battle here, which this is pretty good for us. Like if we get to make a couple of clues here and like untap with this tracker, that would be pretty excellent. They could have like double removal for the tracker, but I think that's fine too. Talk about a stack, huh, chat? There's a stack right there. All right, we're gonna Helix the tracker in response here. Oh yeah, just good, clean Magic the Gathering, chat. Good, clean Magic the Gathering. Tweet a picture of that. They understand that it's over. They understand that it's over. Welcome to everyone that's hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. We're going to be battling Modern all day. We are currently heading into the second hour of my 12-hour Modern stream today. Big shout out to all of my subscribers out there. They're the ones that allow me to do this. This is a stream saying thank you to the very generous support that the Magic community has shown me this year. I'm doing this full time now. So my subscribers are the reason I'm able to do this as often as I do. So if you enjoy my stream and you want to help me make more of this content, please consider subscribing. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anoronix and you. Anoronix like to remind you at the very least, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it'll let you know when I go live and with what. A couple of people are asking about an owl costume preview. Head on over to my Twitter account. My avatar on Twitter is me in the owl costume. I tweeted some full body shots of my wife and I in our owl costumes. We're going to take a family owl photo later next week when we get the kids in their costumes as well. Tweet a picture of this sweet stack. I am posting that stack on Twitter. Just tweeted it. Typing and monologuing at the same time I'm not quite proficient at, so I wanted to finish my monologue before I typed it. My wife looks better. It's a low bar. I look pretty terrible. While we're waiting for this match to pop, I'm gonna find the owl picture really quick so we can show it on stream. I tweet too many pictures of Magic cards. Where are the owls? Where are they? Where are they? Where are the owls? Oh no. Oh no. I'm not gonna miss the match, don't worry. I'm not gonna miss the match. Where are the owls? Clicking through all my media was a bad plan. All right, there it is. Got it. Didn't miss it. So if you haven't seen the owl costume yet, I'm gonna be wearing this to Milwaukee because it was part of a donation goal. And my wife is actually coming to the event with me, and she's gonna wear her owl costume in the morning too, at the very least. So it's quite excellent. It's truly fantastic. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is excited. What does this hand do? We're on the draw. I have an opt. I'm gonna keep it. All right, Storm. All right. Look at that. Drew another land like the professional that I am. I have a bag of Tootsie Pops I'm bringing with to the event, yes. I don't do memes half-assed, chat, okay? These memes have but one speed. This is a bad die roll to lose. It's a bad die roll to lose. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn here. Leave a hopefully one counter spells enough to not die. You could maybe make the argument that I was supposed to bottom this land to try and hit a lightning bolt there. So that shock means they have a Gifts Ungiven. Hey, Thurduke, with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for sending your Amazon Fund money this way this month. I know there's a lot of different streams you could send that to, so thanks for sending it this way and helping support my content here. What purpose does Wall of Roots serve in this deck? Accelerating? Jace is a really clunky card, and Wall of Roots lets us get to Jace sooner. So they could have punished us by casting this Gifts in response to the Wall of Roots, but I was hoping that they just wouldn't, and they didn't here. Yeah, it does allow for Tracker plus land on 3, which is nice as well. I agree with that. Alright, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I was hoping they would make a mistake, and they did. Am I dead anyways? Probably. No, I just feel like I needed my opponent to make a mistake for me to potentially be in this game. Like, I was only getting to cast... Like, I'm not going to get to double spell anytime soon if I don't get the Wall of Roots into play, so... I think doing what I did there is fine. I think, like, hoping my opponent made the small mistake that they did was fine. We're probably just dead here anyways because Gifts Ungiven, but... I think that's the thing I dislike most about the Storm deck, is the Storm deck took one of my favorite cards. Am I supposed to take the Rituals here, or am I supposed to take the Manamorphose Grape Shot? What do we think? Bin the Manamorphose, or is it both the Rituals? It's probably both pieces of mana, right? Oh, it's unfair. Alright, well now we're certainly dead because Magic Online is a quality piece of software. If you undo Gifts Ungiven, they get to take 3 cards to their hands because Magic Online is quality software. So yep. Alright. Let's board in some counter spells, board out some clunkers. Yeah, if we lose the match, the league's free. So we got that going for us now. If we lose the match, the league is free. I could just concede the match. Yeah, I'm just going to concede the match. I don't feel like playing 2 games from behind. So for those that don't understand what happened there, and I need to remember not to do that. That's been broken for weeks. So I just assumed they would have fixed it. I'm going to make a note to file for comp after today's done. If you undo Alpha B, thank you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. It's been broken, yeah, since like October. Sorry. If you put a card into the bin with Gifts Ungiven and then you Control Z to put it to undo it to try and take something else, you then only get to put 1 card into their discard pile with Gifts Ungiven. Oh, Gifts Ungiven is one of the sweetest cards in Modern, and Storm took it and turned it into this brain dead card where you always get like 1 of 2 or 3 gifts piles that makes it really uninteresting and lame. So that's one of the reasons I really dislike Storm. It took a really sweet card and made it super lame. How did Jace Tron go? It was just bad mono green Tron, which was what we were expecting it to be. We played against basic mountains 4 times, so we did not have a good league. Because basic mountains are a bad matchup for Green Trod. Storm is fine, but keep Twin Band, right? That's my favorite, when I state an opinion and then someone's like, nah, you're wrong, but I'm not going to tell you why you're wrong. Just you're wrong. Have a 10-minute timeout. Feel free to tell me why I'm wrong in detail when you come back. If you want to tell me why I'm wrong, you got to be specific. You got to tell me why. Speaking of memory leaks, how's Magic Online doing here? Only 1.6 gigs of RAM. We're doing it. Or you island here versus taking 2 from Steam Vents next turn? Because I wanted to opt here. You're saying maybe I should just play the tapped land and not opt? Yeah, it's probably okay. It's probably not a bad idea. I'm gonna top this and just like fetch a basic here. Let's go ahead and roast this. I mean, I'm wrong a lot, and I don't mind people telling me I'm wrong. What I mind is people not helping me grow and become smarter. If you want to tell me I'm wrong, you got to tell me why. You can help me grow as a player and become a better person by being specific and providing me constructive, actionable feedback. That should be your goal when providing feedback to anyone in general. Like, you want to be specific and constructive feedback is generally actionable. You're wrong because you can do this thing differently in the future to avoid being wrong in the future. All right, they're down to 3 cards in their hand, and we're at 14, and we have a couple of counter spells and a lightning bolt here. So, like, if they draw a couple of creatures, we might be able to squeak this out. You're not wrong, Sad. And that's honestly, it's a culture thing, right? Like, the culture of the internet is people mostly telling other people they're wrong because they want to increase or stroke their own ego and like make other people feel bad about themselves. The crown icon is a Twitch Prime icon. So that person has Twitch Prime. Our lack of green mana, and like the suggestion of playing the Steam Vents on one, I think was a good one, because then like the Scalding Tarn could have fetched me a green source, and then like I wouldn't be missing a color right now. Missing a color feels really bad. Maybe I should have, I think I messed, well, I guess I can snap opt here, right? I was gonna say maybe I should have bolted their dome so I could snap bolt them, but snap opting's probably a little bit better, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and snap opt. I'm gonna feel really bad when we get Searing Blaze, but like we need to put something of a clock on the table. Like the lack of a clock in decks like what we're playing is a big reason why they tend to struggle with decks like Burn. I can't say I've ever heard of a Jank tank. Can't say that that is a thing I've ever heard of before. Sounds like something Saffron Olive related. Ding. We're not shocking ourselves for that, right? It's like not in a million years. Kind of surprised they didn't throw spells at us at end step there. Maybe their hand is just a bunch of blanks. Subscribers get way more leeway. Than people that aren't subscribed, because without my subscribers, I wouldn't be able to be here. But if subscribers were, if a subscriber was particularly abusive or obnoxious, I would eventually time them out. I've timed out and even banned people that have subscribed to the stream before. Someone asked me about the Jank tank yesterday. I still have no idea what it is. What's going on, Goldfish? Hey, Callahones, with that brand new Twitch Prime support, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here, so thanks for choosing to send your Amazon fun money this way this month. Yep. So, God, that was a really good draw. Spell Snare is just one of the better cards in a matchup like Burn. Maybe I'm supposed to put the Tireless Tracker into play here. Maybe I'm supposed to put the Tireless Tracker into play here. Playing the Wall of Roots this turn, though, allows me to hold up Cryptic Command, though, still, and provides me with a blocker. Taking 3 days to figure out which 9 CMC's card to put in your modern deck over any other functional card. So, my opponent only has 2 cards left in their hand, and you just want to be as resource efficient as possible against Burn. Often, the reason why these decks are losing to Burn is because they can't be resource efficient. So, I'm just going to take this Cryptic Command here and gain 3 with it and draw a card. Like, we could be greedy and try and wait for a Boros Charm, but like, getting the opportunity to just spend my mana this turn is huge. Yeah, I'm going to play this tracker. And remember, Wall of Roots, we can use mana with it on our turn and their turn, which is great. Yep. Yeah, I think we're actually getting ourselves, like, they've drawn enough lands that we're getting ourselves into a position that we could potentially win this game, which is pretty awesome. Like, we get Obstinate Baloth and Huntmaster of the Fells post board along with Dispel, so this is definitely a matchup where they're certainly favored game 1. So stealing game 1 gives us a pretty good chance to win the match, I think. And like next turn, because I use the Wall of Roots to pay for this Tireless Tracker here, I can actually crack this clue plus play Snare and Mana Leak. How much to play Battle of Wits? So Battle of Wits actually lags Magic Online to the point where it's not particularly playable because there's so many cards in the deck. Sunhouse with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. Tireless Tracker red, draw a card, gain 3 health here. Deal. Deal. Yeah, I think it's worth putting the Wall of Roots there. Like, I have this Lightning Bolt to deal with their things, and like, if they're Searing Blazing Wall of Roots, they're not Searing Blazing one of my cards that can attack. No, Thorn of Amethyst is much, much worse than Trinisphere and Panza. Much, much worse. I did not make that. The sub-animation is one that I got from their websites that sell pre-packaged animation things. So there's actually 5 different ones. They're all really sweet. This. I'm gonna bolt this because they're probably gonna trade with the Snapcaster Mage if I don't bolt it. This Snapcaster Mage is definitely our clock. This card ults pretty quick, so hopefully that's gonna be our route to victory this game. I actually wrote a thing. I haven't streamed since I wrote it. I'm gonna create a chat command for this. Here are my thoughts and opinions on MTG Arena. In condensed digestible form. Kiora might just read gain 3 here, but if they don't kill her this turn, she gets to ult pretty quickly. I assume this is killing Kiora, and like, if this kills Kiora, yeah, we're at 11, and like, I get to play this Tireless Tracker next turn. Because I linked it in the main the main. Oh, I think I posted it in the general chat instead of the article preview, Shadowless. Because I didn't post it as a preview article because it's just on my personal site, so it got published as soon as I finished writing it. God, that's a good draw. I played Magic in about a year, but playing the Team Atlanta Open, probably playing Modern Burn. Thinks it's fairly positioned against human decks. If you want to be reasonable against the humans decks with Burn, you're going to want to make sure you put a bunch of Searing Bloods in your board. It's definitely one of the better cards in that matchup. Electrolyze is slow and clunky. Kiora is pretty slow and clunky. I guess roasting this Harvest Pyre is good enough. All these double negatives is probably bad. I probably want some number of them, though. This is probably reasonable. Double negative's just a 3-mana. It's just a cancel in this matchup. Like, we want to just, like, cast 3-mana Healing Solve is a card I'm in for, basically. It's in the board in general for, what's it called? For decks, like, with Bloodbraid Elves in them. But in this matchup, it's just going to be a Healing Solve. I think I'm going to trim one Jace. I actually think Jace is okay in this matchup because he allows us to Fate Seal them out of the game. I'm going to trim one cantrip because it's a little bit slow. Ha! I figured it out. Dingo dango. Thank you for the 2-month Twitch Prime resupport. I do appreciate you sending your fun money this way again this month. I don't like Engineered Explosives against the non-wild Nakatl burn decks, which is most of the burn decks these days, because Engineered Explosives, to kill their 1-drops, you have to spend 3 mana to trade with their 1-drop, which you just can't afford a tempo loss that is that big in this matchup, I feel like. I think this is how I want to sideboard. I think I'm gonna bring in these 7, and I'm gonna cut these 7 over here. It seems fine. This hand's okay. It's not super exciting, but it's fine. I think it's on the line of keepable. So if you wanted that counterspell to be better against Storm, yes, you should play Counterflux. The purpose of double negative is not for a card that is good against Storm. We are playing double negative to be playing a card that's good against Bloodbraid Elf. And while Counterflux, yes, can counter both spells from a Bloodbraid Elf, it does not counter both spells from a Bloodbraid Elf when you're on the draw. I think I'm bet shocking here. Grafdigger's Cage, sure. That seems like a waste of a slot. I guess they're really scared of Snapcaster Mage. Every single match when we go to the sideboard, Vile Offspring. I thought I already did this, but whatever Twitch says. Bub Jinxed, thanks for the Twitch Prime resub. Quarter of a year, welcome back. So Negate on top. Yeah, I'm gonna Fetch Shock here. Just get Steam Vents. Field of Ruin being a little bit awkward here. Tilt. It's not even about the style of what MTG Arena looks like to me. I actually really like how Arena looks. Like it's an actual Magic video game. I would love to play an actual Magic video game, but just like my blog post says, I can't play the Magic that I want to play on Magic Arena. I don't play Standard. I don't play Limited. And that's what Arena is being built for. Like, Magic is more than just these formats that they produce new cards for every month, right? Like, I stream Magic 30+ hours a week on this channel. We don't play any Standard or Limited on this channel. We play Modern and we play Legacy. Like, that's what Arena, that's what Magic is to me. And if Arena won't let me play those formats, then it's not Magic for me. I think because I had the opt, I'd rather get the blue source But yeah, you could maybe make an argument that I should play. That's real bad for me. Yeah, we're pretty dead at this point. Let's go to game 3. The answer to the reason why don't I play obscure format that people don't really play X is because people don't really want to see that format. Well, so Arena is going to be real standard eventually. I don't think it's fair to say Arena is crap because right now it doesn't have full standard in it. They plan to bring full standard to Arena eventually. It's just a time thing as they go through and open into a regular beta. They don't ever intend to bring Modern and Legacy to it. Genetic Maridukes, instead of answering your question directly, I'm going to answer your question with a question. Why do I want Anger? What card that's in my deck is Anger better than? I don't play Limited because I don't enjoy playing Limited. It's not a format of Magic that I am particularly engaged in or compelled to play. The thing I find most engaging and interesting about playing TCGs is the concept of getting to take a deck that I have and working on it and improving it and iterating it and doing big, sweet, neat things. And Limited just isn't conducive to doing any of those things that I'm interested in doing in Magic. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine to say you don't find the current format in Arena compelling, but and that's not the format for Arena long term, so I don't think you should judge Arena based on what it is right now in closed beta. If Arena supported Modern and it had a reasonable system for me to acquire Modern legal cards to play sweet decks, then yes, I would play Modern on Arena rather than Magic Online because the Arena interface looks really sweet. I mean, that's exactly what we're doing with Owling Mine Shadowless. Variety is the spice of life. Doing more variety is more entertaining and more popular. Yeah, I think Arena looks really sweet. You play Arena. Well, I would never own an iPad because I like my money, and I would never give someone extra of my money because their hardware has a piece of fruit on the side of it. I think it's silly to give someone extra money for a piece of overpriced hardware because they decided to put a piece of fruit on the side of it. But would I play Magic on a tablet? I don't know. Playing Magic on like a 10-inch screen sounds kind of tedious and awkward. Like, Magic has a lot of things that are often going on screen, so like having to deal with like a lot of things or a large stack on a 10-inch screen sounds awkward. We don't know what Arena's economy is. We don't know what it's going to cost to actually buy cards. I guess you kind of have an idea of what their free-to-play economy is, but if I'm being perfectly honest, Arena's free-to-play economy is completely irrelevant to someone like me. I'm an adult who has more money than time, and I would much rather spend money to acquire the cards that I need to play rather than spend 80 hours grinding for one tiered deck. Like, that doesn't sound appealing or interesting to me as a Magic player. And if grinding for 80 hours with shit tier decks sounds appealing to you, more power to you. But to me, that sounds like a waste of my time and very frustrating, so it's not something I would ever do. I think it's completely irrelevant where you live, whether or not the free-to-play aspect is. I think it's different from person to person. There are definitely people that don't fall into that camp, that don't have free time. All right, or that don't have money but do have free time, and that's okay. Like, I don't think less of you of a person if you have, you know, more time than money, that you're in a different position than I am, right? Like, my time is valuable. Like, I'm not going to spend time, like, I don't enjoy playing basically bad sealed decks against other bad sealed decks. That doesn't sound fun to me. And if that sounds fun to you, you can and should do it. Remember, TCGs and card games are great because there are lots of different things to lots of different people. The thing that I like doesn't have to be the same thing that you like. Snapcaster's a pretty good pickup here. We get to snap this lightning bolt. Yep. I mean, they have not publicly committed to supporting Modern or Legacy on Arena, and if they intended to support Modern Legacy on Arena, it'd be very easy to just say, eventually it's going to be there, just give us time. If they have a Bolt or a Helix here, we're going to be a little bit sad. Oh, are they letting us get to blocks? That's so good for me. All right, let's do that. They have a Tarka's Command here, I'm going to feel rancid, but usually these decks don't play a Tarka's Command anymore. That's fine. That's fine. So we're going to 4. They have 1 card left. The board is clear. Yeah, let's just start Jace sealing them. Bottom any and all burn spells here. No, we shouldn't take the 1. I don't think it's worth trying to play around a card that they generally don't play anymore. And we could just die here, but like I think we've put ourselves in the best possible position to win. Am I dead? All right, sweet. I'm gonna brainstorm here because we need to try and find a live card. So I'm going to put back Scalding Tarn because we can't crack it in this breeding pool. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and use this Field of Ruin to take them off of white, right? It also lets me shuffle my deck here, so that way I can cast these ops into more useful things. Oh, I shouldn't have tapped 2 green sources, because I could opt into an Obstinate Baloth and cast it this turn. Yeah, that was a mistake. So if I opt into an Obstinate Baloth, this was a mistake. Wall of Roots. No, I'm just looking for more action than that. I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. I'm just going to go ahead and pass, leave up Mana Leak. So that way we can try not to die. The Field of Ruin giving us a shuffle when we otherwise could have died is great. A cardboard crackling. What decks have you missed? You missed blue-green Jace, and we're currently playing Temur Control. I think we're going to play your blue-white control deck next, actually. This has been a tight match. Especially this game 3. I feel like it's been real close. They definitely had a window to kill us there, and we were fortunate that they didn't have it. If they have Lightning Bolt or Lava Spike here, we could die. I'm not going to snap opt. I think that's greedy. I'm just going to go ahead and cast this opt from my hand, just leaving Mana Leak up. Spell Snare is a great draw. A 10 out of 10 want that one. Let's go ahead and Jace Storm here again. I didn't Tireless Tracker because I wanted to leave up Mana Leak so we wouldn't die to a 2-mana spell. There's some... Okay, so that should wrap the game up, right? That should probably wrap the game up. I'm going to put Field of Ruin and Tireless Tracker on top of my deck. I'm going to go ahead and cast this Gain 4. And we have Spell Snare and Mana Leak, so they don't have exactly Bolt here. We should be good. Yeah, perfect. Sweet. This was a clutch game. Not if I wanted to opt, and I wanted to try and find, Baloth sooner with the opt. You're right that I could have done both, but I wanted to try and find the Baloth sooner. Alright, I just don't need this Tireless Tracker at this point, and the Mana Leak's starting to draw dead, right? So I'm gonna throw that back. I'm gonna just continue cutting them off of white mana. Jace being able to bounce your Baloth to gain more life, yep. Alright, sweet. So we're 2-1, but we conceded a match to Storm when we lost game 1 to the Gifts Given Undo bug. So I don't know where that one would have gone, but I said I'd just concede the match because I didn't feel like playing a match where we lost to game 1 to a bug. I'll just file for comp for the league for that. So we're 2-0 in matches we've actually fully played out. No, I find EDH, like, kind of annoying. EDH was blue in the Lightning Helix was blue in the graveyard because Magic Online is quality software. Yeah, Burn gave up playing a Tarka's Command because they wanted a more consistent mana base. The deck only plays Stomping Ground at this point, generally for Destructive Revelry out of the sideboard. I mean, like, Delicious Waffles, like, all roads led to Rome, basically, is what it came down to, right? Like, I didn't need the leak to win the game anymore, so it felt fine. I was at 9, and I was going to gain 4 life every turn for the rest of the game with the Jace. I'm going to fetch Shock here and cast this Opt, I think. The only time I've ever been denied comp when I felt like they really should have comped me for the league was a time where I had on video, because it happened during a stream, where one of my matches looped in on itself constantly and just ended up crashing out, but it gave me the match win, but it took 15 minutes of my time for Magic Online to finally come to and finish looping and crashing, and I feel like they really should have done the customer service thing and comped my league even though I won that specific match, because they wasted 15 minutes of my time, and it was really frustrating. You must file for comp a lot, because I feel like I put in a lot of comp requests and I've never been denied. So, like, for them to say you filed for comp too much, you must have filed a ton. So this is like 10 out of 10 a Cryptic Command, right? Man, we just like really want a Snapcaster Bolt, huh? I mean, if anything, me being who I am probably means I should get pushback on comp requests more often, right? Like, I pretty constantly shit on Magic Online and things of that nature. They have Spell Pierce in their deck. Interesting. That's... okay, so they must be, like, Jeskai Geist then, right? That's what Spell Pierce feels like it says to me, like they must be a Geist deck. I wasn't planning on playing any Owling Mine today, but then Justin donated $100 for us to play Owling Mine when Matt gets here. So probably about 6:30, we're going to play some Owling Mine. Yeah, that was on their main phase. Yeah, must be a tempo deck. That's fine. Love to get another... actually want another red source more than another green source, right? Yep. I'm gonna opt here at end step. I'm gonna go ahead and stand up. I'm sitting for 2.5 hours. Enjoy the ride, chat. I just want more threats, right? I already have another land in my hands. Alright, so play this. We passed 1,000 subscriber points here. I'm just gonna snap snare on this. Yeah, I'm just gonna snap snare on this, then I'm gonna bolt this Snapcaster Mage. You're being super aggressive. Just take your threat off the table. Go. I'm going to be resource efficient here and crack this fetch and crack my clue. This gives them a chance to, like, kill my Snapcaster for tapped out, but I just want to use my mana, I think. This is a good one. If we were going to keep drawing lands, that was a good one to find. What are sub points and how are they different from subs? So, the bigger subscriber tier, so like the tier 3 subs, yeah, so like a $9.99 subscription counts as 2 sub points. A $24.99 subscription counts as 6 sub points. So I have 903 unique subscribers as of this very moment in time, but I have 1025 sub points from people using the higher tier subscriptions. Outside of them drawing Geist, we're in a pretty good spot here, especially with this Negate in our hand. Yeah, Lumbering Falls is really decent when they don't have like Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter. No, this is what I'm doing full time now. I haven't had a formal full-time day job since my oldest son was 6 weeks old. So I quit my full-time job to be a stay-at-home dad, and then now that I was doing this just kind of part-time, so I was playing games while the kids were around anyways, but you'll notice the kids haven't been screaming in the background during the streams much anymore. That's because for a lot of the afternoon streams, I've actually hired a babysitter since this is making enough money now. And then over the summer, when Jake is home from school, I think we're actually going to do daycare a couple days a week, so I can do this with some silence in the background. Sure, you have search for Azcanta. And then Snap Bolt is lethal. Yep. Owl meme greater than full-time job, right? All right. This deck feels pretty good. Feels pretty good in the control mirror. And I feel less bad sending the kids to daycare, like, at the age they are now, too, than, like, when they were younger, because, like, at the age my kids are now, like, Declan's almost 3 and Jake just turned 4, like, the interacting with other kids is really good for them at this point, right? Whereas, like, when kids are, like, newborns or, like, that first year or so, like, they don't really interact with other kids. I just want to make sure, like, the kids are old enough, too, that, like, you know, if there was, like, abuse or something bad happening at the daycare, they could verbalize that with me and let me know. Not that we're not going to look into it, make sure that they have good reviews, but, like, that's, like, the type of shit that, like, goes through my mind when I'm, like, talking about, like, having someone else watch my kids for that extended period of time. Which I know that's super pessimistic, but that's the world we live in. I don't think I want all the double negatives here. You could maybe I want to trim this Wall of Roots for the 3rd cancel. I don't actually know that they're on a Geist deck. So if we saw Geist, I would hedge and bring in Anger. But I feel like I'm just going to... I'd rather not. Yeah, like, without actually seeing Geist, just, like, the way... They could just be, like, a Jeskai control deck that, like, knew they wanted to be aggressive in a control mirror. They don't necessarily have a Geist. I think Kiora is pretty bad just because, like, she dies to bolts and stuff like that. I don't think she's really reasonable. Yes, yeah, the cost of daycare is pretty expensive, which was another part of why, like Like, I wasn't working a bad job. Like, I was making 50, 55. I don't even remember the amount of money. It was like 50 grand a year as an analyst for an insurance company. And, like, when we factored in, like, what I was going to be making versus daycare full time, and, like, we don't intend to put the kids in daycare full time over the summer, right? It's going to be, like, 2 days a week while I stream on those 2 days. That seems probably fine. It's got 3 lands in it. Kiora is Alex Bertoncini's Planeswalker card. That's true. It does come with 2 Explorers. Wall of Roots is technically still broken, but the bug with it only really occurs when you are playing it alongside cards with Convoke. E could be okay. It's just really clunky. I did not work for Country Insurance, although Country is one of 2 companies that has their national headquarters here in Bloomington. Generally, these control matchups are generally just about hitting your land drops for the first few turns here, so we're definitely just going to do that. A lot of the times it kind of comes into like who blinks first type situations, but opponent is continuing to play these games super aggressive, so this might not play out like a traditional control matchup might. They also gave him a commemorative merfolk. No, I don't think I noticed anything too obvious, ZJ. We had a really close set overall. I don't know. My only comment would be, I don't know that I liked that you boarded in Path to Exile against me in the post-board games. I feel like, in general, you only want Path to Exile against the decks that could have really large creatures. But I guess maybe you assumed we were playing Tarmogoyf. You can't know for sure that I wasn't, so maybe that's fine. I just think, in general, in Burn, you should, like, hedge towards not boarding in Path rather than hedge towards boarding in Path. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I was going to say in the middle of the cornfields, but I'm pretty sure Bloomington, Indiana is also pretty cornfield, is like cornfield adjacent. I don't know that game 1 was necessarily that true. Delicious waffles. Game 1, I feel like we were gonna. Am I getting Shadow of Doubted? Vendy clicked. Sure. I've got 2 great threats in my hand here, so this I'm actually pretty okay with. Like, if they want to take Tracker or Huntmaster, either of those are pretty good for us. They're probably going to take the Huntmaster since it gains me health, but they're also, like, pushing me into more removal since I don't have a Bolt yet. Yeah. I like them taking the Huntmaster there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a Breeding Pool here. Start by casting Serum Visions and see what we draw. Snapcaster. I'm going to go bottom here because, again, we're basically just looking for Lightning Bolt at this point or Electrolyze. Crack this fetch land. Let's get a couple of clues here. I'm gonna grab Steam Vents. One, just hedge having plenty of blue mana since I have this Wall of Roots in play, and I have, maybe I'm supposed to fetch, I think that was a mistake that I just did there. I think I was supposed to fetch a basic land there so I could use the Wall of Roots along with my untapped land to crack a clue on their turn. I think that was a small missequencing on my part there. Negate. I'll snap Serum Visions and see where we get. See where we end up at. Again, just like kind of digging for my removal before they can burn us out, basically. The Jeskai deck's not going to Blood Moon us. Really not concerned about Blood Moon. What is this? That is not happening. Stop it. Mana Leak, Opt. I'm just going to go bottom again here. I really feel like with these clues especially, I want to just like give myself the most chance to like find things. Like my mana's kind of tied up, and I think even spending 1 mana on an opt is probably too much. Although maybe you could argue because I have the Snapcaster Mage, the opt is more valuable. Yeah, the opponents played this entire match very aggressively. Yep. Which maybe I boarded out my I think I'm gonna board my Harvest Pyre back in at least for game 3. I think they're pretty unlikely to play anything I want to mana leak here. I also just bottomed 2 cards that I don't want to draw, so I'm not particularly interested in shuffling 2 cards I just bottomed back into my deck. I guess if they went like something into some, like if they, I just feel like there aren't probably a lot of things I want to mana leak. Yeah, we're gonna crack a clue at their end step. That's why I played the basic forest. Also, like, cracking the fetch puts us to a 2-turn clock with this, or a 1-turn clock with a Snapcaster Mage or a Lightning Bolt. So there's definitely, it's not free to do that. I have a Delve spell? Why are they paying? Or just Lightning Helixing me? That's so aggressive. It's so aggressive. Ugh. That's really unfortunate for us. No, I don't think so. I think I'd rather play like Anger or something like that before anything like that happened. I'm gonna go ahead and tap their team and draw a card. Yeah, I literally talked about that Zac attack. I literally just talked about that. And how I felt like I just didn't have enough to even spend a single resource extra. These fetch lands are looking pretty medium. Maybe I should have done this during their upkeep. I gave them an extra chance to draw a Dispel or a Spell Snare or something like that. Yeah, I probably should have done this during their upkeep, as opposed to waiting till now. They have a lot of cards that kill us here regardless, like Snapcaster Mages. Counterflux. Yeah, definitely gave them a chance to draw Counterflux. All right. So if they drew that for the turn, we could have potentially had more of a chance here. We weren't going to get there anyways. I'm going to board the Harvest Pyre back in, I guess. Got this Wall of Roots. The Wall of Roots is okay there, but I don't think it's very good in general. Baloth and Huntmaster are going to be really good based on how they've played this game out. Honestly, maybe I want to cut these mana leaks. Yeah, I'm going to cut 2 of these mana leaks and bring 2 Wall of Roots in. Getting ahead on mana seems like it's probably pretty reasonable based on how they're playing these games. I mean, I think there's plenty of decisions when it comes to building mana bases in Modern. I actually just wrote an article about building mana bases in Modern. And while fetch lands are the core of most Modern mana bases, they don't invalidate all decisions. You still have to make a lot of decisions while building most mana bases in Modern. This hand's just going to like brick on its 3rd and 4th land and die, but it's got spells that I definitely want, so I'm going to keep it. Slinky Racer, you're new, so I'm going to let you give you a heads up. You were timed out because you told me to do something without telling me why I want to do it. So a good way to articulate what you wanted to say there would be, Anger seems good here because, and it seems better than card X that you're already playing because. Just like yelling random things out at me to do isn't helpful or useful to me as a player. Giving me specific actionable feedback on how I could have done something better is useful and helpful. All right, come on. Untap land. Untap land. Untap land. Dang it, Bobby. Okay. For people that are new here, this is not my deck list. These are not cards that I put in this deck. We're just playing cards that someone else sent me to play. Double negative is in here with the idea that you get to counter Bloodbraid Elf with it. We can use Field of Ruin as Evolving Wilds here. I don't think that's a winning line. Continue to brick and die. I said this hand was going to miss its third line drop and die, right? No, I think with the Search for Azcanta in play, without needing red right away, I'd rather wait on the Field of Ruin. If they give me something that I need to kill, then we'll probably use the Field of Ruin to get our mountain, but I mean, like, the fixing doesn't accomplish anything. It allows me to cast Electrolyze, I guess, but, like, I'd rather wait to kill Search with it, I think. I'm just gonna concede this game. We're pretty far behind. Like, this is one of those games where, like, we're probably gonna play the match for, like, another 12 to 13 turns, but, like, we're not actually going to win because we've just lost so much tempo by being so far behind at this point. Playing the Tracker out is just going to run into an answer of some sort. So Tracker is a type of card, especially in a control mirror, where you want to think of Tracker as a 4-drop. Your Tracker gets played, and then you immediately play a land following it, so that way if they have a removal spell, you still got some kind of value out of it. It's pretty good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Panzer. Ugh. Bloodbraid Elf Burgle. Cascade effects. Overgrowth. Not Panza. The express intention is Bloodbraid Elf. I kid you not. When I opened the deck list this morning to, like, look at it, I was like, this seems awful and this should just be Counterflux. And then I read the notes and I was like, oh, that the person that sent the deck list had actually included a note that talked explicitly about Bloodbraid Elf and being able to counter Bloodbraid Elf and the thing it cascades into on the draw. And I was like, oh, that's very reasonable logic. Let's play it and see how it feels. Yeah, it's looking like Mono Green Devotion. Mana Leak was an excellent draw here, hopefully. Grab an Island. Mana Leak this. Island is your land. Island is my land. Do, 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 do. It's really unfortunate that this isn't Ghost Quarter, so we can't destroy their overgrowths here. I would really prefer to kill their overgrowths. My article is every week up on gatheringmagic.com. Actually, an article published this morning. I publish on Fridays. Talking about the legacy deck that I played at Cincinnati last weekend. They have up to 9 mana here. Obstinate Baloth, sure. I think we're just snapping Opt. They have a 6-drop. Eternal Witness, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fetch shock and snap Opt here. Just grab a Steam Vents. Want triple blue for the Cryptic Command. His Spell Snare is probably a dead card in this matchup. I'm gonna bottom that. I want to hold up Cryptic Command this turn anyway, so I'd rather just like draw actionable cards. Now the question is, do I want to counter draw with this Cryptic Command, or do I want to counter bounce a forest so an overgrowth falls off? I've been playing Magic since, lordy, since I was 11, and I'm 27, so I've been playing Magic for 16 years. He's 75. Hey now, I like could pass for like a solid 40. I don't know about 75. Definitely old enough and angry enough to be 40, right? Yeah, Odyssey block, Apocalypse / Odyssey. So even if we counter bounce here, it only puts them down 2 mana, right? And like, so like, what's the difference? Right now they have 9, 10, 11. Whereas it's like 11 versus, I'm just gonna counter draw. It's like 11 mana versus 9 mana. $45. I've been a salty, angry old grouch for a real long time, chat. A real long time. Quick, Jeff. I don't have all the cards for Temur Kiki, so you continue suggest replacements for Scavenging Ooze or Tracker. Avalanche Riders is okay for Fulminator Mage. Scavenging Ooze is pretty important. It's pretty important. We could just kill the elf. Yeah, I guess that's true. I should have just put this into play probably, right? Probably want to save this for... Oh, that's gross. They're going to get to Kessigwolf run this. Yeah, they're gonna take Kessigwolf. Is this lethal? It's +6. We're going to 1. Yeah, we're going to 1. All right. Hookadoke. Get some of these counter spells out of our deck. Mana Leak's probably actually okay in this matchup. Spell Snare is truly rancid. Double negative is great. Would love some hard counters. I don't think Engineered Explosives is good enough. Anger of the Gods really doesn't kill much of their stuff either, huh? Staticaster's probably fine. Got a couple Mana Leaks here. Let's see how this goes. People asking about Standard. I mean, look at the donation queue, right? Like, look at how much Modern people want to see played. Like, I had people ask if they could donate for Standard, and we had a couple people donate, and then I ended up just like, it's just not. Like, Modern's really fun right now, and it takes so much work to be competitive in Standard. Like, the amount of work it takes to keep up with Standard is not worth the return on investment for me at this point as a content producer. And like, if Modern wasn't fun, I'd look for other things. We'd play more Pauper, we'd play more Legacy, we'd probably try Standard, but Modern is really sweet right now. Modern's this is very quickly becoming the Modern format I've enjoyed more than any other time in Modern. And that comes as someone who, the last time I really enjoyed Modern was when Twin and Pod were legal. So it's an okay start. The cantrips kind of pulled us through here. We're going to get to curve Tireless Tracker out on turn 3 here. Hopefully keep killing their stuff. I don't think I ever really played Modern when 12 post was legal. I mean, Storm and Tron are offensive, but like, There's always been things that are offensive in Modern at different points. Cleverly have an 0-5 in my deck to block their 4. Sounds great. The thing that makes Modern so great right now is that the 10th most competitive deck is very similar in power level to the first and second most competitive deck in the format. Because, like, formats like Legacy have a lot of decks that people play and see play. But a lot of the decks that people play in Legacy are much worse than the decks that are better than the others. Should we not be worried about Blood Moon? I don't know. Did I have an option to fetch around Blood Moon at some point here? Sure. Sure. Yes, yeah, they banned a bunch of sweet things and then printed Obnoxious Eldrazi and made the format. They, like, made it worse in 2 different ways. Sweet. It's good for us that they didn't attack there, because I wasn't going to block anyways, because I wanted to use this mana to correct the clue. Huh. This is Jace's best mode, 4 mana unsummon. They do get to Acidic Slime me here, but I think that's fine. You guys want to clean the board out? No, today's just Magic Critterdom. Today is just Modern specifically. Slime me, baby. Yeah, I think the Jundel's deck list looks sweet. Interesting, they're not just sliming me. That's really good for us. We get to untap with Cryptic Command and Mana Leak now. Man, that feels good. What am I putting back here? I'm just putting back both lightning bolts. I think I'm putting back both lightning bolts. This Jace card is great. We should ban him. He's too strong. Too strong. WotC, please nerf. So now they have Primal Command and a Acidic Slime in their hand. Maybe I'm supposed to Field of Ruin their Nykthos. I don't know, that seems loose. They still have plenty of mana. I think I'd rather just hold up double Counterspell here. I'm not expecting my opponent's deck to play Ulamog. You know what? I should have negated that, right? Get the Acidic Slime me here. No, I can pay for Acidic Slime. I can Mana Leak it, I mean. Yeah, if they only have 1 floating plus that. Yeah, so I'll just Mana Leak them. We know their last card is Primal Command. If they attack Jace, I have to chump block. I guess I could trade. It seems loose. That actually kind of sucks. I'll throw these back. Am I just letting Jace die? Nah, I'm gonna trade Tracker for Obstinate Baloth this turn, I think. That's true, Prototype. That's definitely worth noting. Thank you for pointing that out. So if they cast Primal Command, I'm going to negate them. I think I want to use this Field of Ruin to shuffle my deck. Get rid of these bolts and try and draw some more lands here. Alright, so this attack's actually pretty good for us. Because it means I can snap, bolt, and then block the Baloth, eat the Witness. So eat this, block this. They get to play a 5-drop here, but I'm going to have a Tracker plus a Jace, and I'm going to untap with these Cryptic Commands and these bolts on top of my deck. Yeah, I think that's too cute, chat. I think that's too cute. Lordy. Opponents had enough. They understand. We're bricking, but we're still fine. I don't think I want to change anything. I'm just going to click this a bit. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out here today. Welcome. I'm going to be doing a long stream today. We're currently just past hour 3 of a 12-hour Modern stream. It's going to be our last match with this Temur control deck. Up next, we're going to be playing a blue-white control list. We'll see just how many decks we're able to get through in 12 hours today. We've got a bunch of them in the docket. My buddies Matt and Andrew and Mike Kletz are going to be coming over later tonight. They're my teammates in Cincinnati, so they're going to hang out and have a couple extra personalities on the stream, so it's not just me for the whole 12-hour stint. Sand's not exciting, but it's a keep. The bottom non-land here. We do have a bunch of Jace decks. We do. Alright, I think I'm pretty obligated to bolt this. Get 3 looks at a second land. I don't know. I feel like Mana Leak has text some of the time here. The guys might be too tipsy to drive home, so they might be crashing on my couch. There is a non-zero chance they'll be crashing on my couch. All right, I think since we hit that, I actually just want to roast this. Grab Breeding Pool and kills, especially with the Utopia Sprawl there. This is like killing 2 of their mana. I am 27. The ripe old balding age of 27. This does feel a little bit bad if they slap Obstinate Baloth here. Modern's fun. It's got a lot of interesting games of Magic in it. And we could have played around that a little bit by fetching, but we saw a lot of their deck and didn't see that card, so I don't know. I felt like it was fine not to fetch around it. It is what it is. And like, For people that are newer to the stream, you might be wondering, why did he concede? He's not dead yet. We play Magic to have fun on this stream, and sitting there taking draw steps while we don't get to play Magic, I don't find fun. So we just concede the matches where we're very likely to lose and move on with our lives and play more Magic. This deck, specific thoughts and feedbacks in general. Wall of Roots was actually really impressive. It felt like it really smoothed out a lot of the things that this deck, that like these decks kind of get a little bit clunky with like Jace and Cryptic Command, and Wall of Roots really helps smooth that out. Just like a lot of the decks in the format can get under decks like this, so having this 0-5 to block was really impressive. This card is hot garbage. This is a cute inclusion. We boarded it out a lot. Modern's just too aggressive for a card like this to be good, I feel. I think this should just be something else. If you want it to be a win condition, play another win condition. Honestly, this deck's not playing Blood Moon. This card should probably just be Search for Azcanta. It's another card that generates card advantage and also can generate us some extra mana as the game goes along. So I think I would turn the Kioras probably into Search for Azcantas. As far as the sideboard goes, I'm not sure if I'm sold on the double negatives being worthwhile against Bloodbraid Elf. In general, in my experiences with decks like this, you don't want counter spells against decks like Jund. In general, post-board, you want to be positioning yourself so as many of your cards that you draw off the top in the mid-game position you to interact with the board as opposed to hoping to counter their spells. So I think if I wanted more generic counter spells on the board, I think my gut instinct of just playing Counterflux there so it hedges against other blue decks and Storm a little bit better would be fine. But I think this card's just too cute, and you just like don't want to plan to bring in counter spells against Jund decks and Bloodbraid Elves in general. Like a lot of the Bloodbraid decks tend to be a little bit more aggressive, and counter spells tend to be bad against aggressive decks. Yeah, Wall of Roots, especially with Tireless Tracker too, like the clues it was making, like Wall of Roots paid for itself over in a number of games. Like making mana on our turn and then making mana again on their turn allowed us to catch up in tempo in a lot of spots where we would have otherwise been behind because we had some clunky cards in our deck. One thing I might consider in the mana base, because we're playing Wall of Roots, is a blue-green filter land would probably be an okay inclusion in this deck, so Wall of Roots can help you cast Cryptic Commands and Jace the Mind Sculptors a little bit more consistently. But overall, this deck was sweet. The build felt reasonably powerful and was doing neat things. Like, it's playing mostly cards that are generically powerful and reasonable in Modern, so I was expecting it to be okay. But yeah, Wall of Roots felt reasonable. Jace was okay. Kiora was poop. Probably swapped the double negatives, but the core of the deck was great. I think the Field of Runes are okay. Maybe you could trim one. I like being able to interact with lands a little bit in a deck like this, and while it was clunky a couple of times for us, the times Field of Runes was really clunky were games where we were just missing land drops in general. So like, even if Field of Runes had made colored mana in the games it was clunky, we probably were going to lose anyways because we just like didn't have a third or didn't have a fourth land drop. So I think playing some utility lands as Field of Runes is fine. Because remember, like, ultimately Field of Runes is pseudo-fixing, right? Like, it's a really slow Evolving Wilds the way it works. At any rate, what are we... Where's the blue-white control deck? Did I not load it in here? Oh, did Magic Online not save it? I definitely imported it. Oh, it's at the bottom. I'm dumb. You could always look at the donation queue there and see where things are at yourself. All right, let's grab some cards for this one.